What is happening, sports fans? Jermaine Matt from the DFS 5-pack. I am rocking it solo. It is Tuesday, November 30th. Got 5 NBA games to crush. Just going to make one video today, the only sport we got going on, so I figured I'll share this to the public. Week 13 NFL is coming up fast and furious, but we got 5 NBA games tonight. Before I talk those out, I want to talk about a couple promotions we got going on, both connected with Jazz Sports. The first one's simple. You join Jazz Sports, you get a no risk wager up to $1,000 in your first bet, up to $1K back if your first wager is graded a loss. I got a game this weekend I love that I think you guys might be interested in. So great opportunity to get in there and get $1,000 back, risk-free wager on your first bet. Second one's with a site called Loose Lines. They're connected with Jazz Sports. It's one of my favorite books out there. Really, really good lines and odds, reduced juice, and a ton more perks. You also get an additional 50% off on your first deposit. So, again, 2 sites that I'm really familiar with. I'm excited to talk about some more sports betting stuff. I know a lot of you guys asked me about that. Until then, though, we got DFS to talk over. We got a 5-game NBA slate. Pretty interesting one, kind of boring-ish. We got 9 games again tomorrow, so we'll be right back at it. As far as tonight goes, let me share this screen, and we'll be diving right in. All right, so first game, Knicks and Nets. So some news here. Tom Thibodeau has announced that Kemba Walker is going to be out of the rotation going forward, and that Alec Burks is going to start at point guard. Burks is probably a bit more solid than spectacular, but we saw him play close to 40 minutes last time out. You get a starting point guard at either with shooting guard and small forward eligibility. He looks like a plug-and-play guy in all formats. Just a lot to like there. I imagine he'll get a lot of love, deservedly so. He's just really, really affordable for what he's going to offer now. I imagine if he's the starting point guard for the Knicks going forward and he plays, 35 minutes or minutes that Tibbs likes to give his starters, he's probably going to be like a 6K player. So you still get him at a little bit of a discount. I will say at 5,600, maybe he's not like a stone cold lock that we might have seen on other slates, but still like him quite a bit. Again, there's not like a ton of guys on this slate I'm overly in love with. So Burks is my favorite piece of the Knicks. Don't mind Julius Randle. Last big game, we saw him put up 50 back-to-back against the Bulls and the Lakers. Has struggled in the 2 games since then, but now lacking a true point guard in the starting lineup, it's not crazy to me that Randle, the majority of the offense is run through Randle. That said, he's close to 10K, or he's 9,400, so priced down a little bit. So far from a priority for me, but he's always the top piece of the Knicks, and nothing's different here. So, if you love this game, Randle's going to be the top piece of the Knicks. Then Burks probably. We'll have to see what's up with Quickly. I imagine he's going to continue playing decent minutes, so he's a fine look, but not a must at 4,800. If RJ Barrett's out, it just boosts all those other guys. So it's something to wait and see about. As far as the Brooklyn side goes, Brooklyn's not really a team I'm ever too interested in when they're healthy. Harden and KD are both priced up. I know Harden was amazing last time. Durant was amazing last time. I'll throw up 70 DK points. Neither of these guys are priorities for me. If you like them, do your thing. I'm never going to argue with anyone who wants to play these guys. But for me, I like other guys elsewhere. Joe Harris being out, opens the door for consistent Patty Mills minutes. It's just hard for me to want to prioritize him here. Not really sure there's anything on the Nets I'll prioritize. I guess the one guy is James Johnson at 3,400. Much more solid than spectacular, but we know he's got good DFS games in him. Playing 25 minutes consistently recently, I can get on board at 3,400, as a cheap punt for sure. Moving on, we got the Grizzlies at the Raptors. We saw this game last week. The Raptors won in Memphis. Now Ja Morant's out. As far as the Memphis side goes, all these guys' prices are up, so I think they're fine. Tyus Jones is fine, but don't love him at 5,200. D'Anthony Melton is fine. Don't love him at 5,100. Dylan Brooks at 7K is fine, but I definitely don't love him there. Triple J's, the same thing. I mean, these guys are fine. Steven Adams did not see his price go up. He played really well in that game against Sacramento. They blew them out, so he didn't get full run. I don't hate Steven Adams here, but he's definitely not a guy I'm like locking in and moving on, and might be my favorite piece of the Grizzlies just considering how they're priced. I mean, I guess Desmond Bane, but 6K, probably not where I want to prioritize either. So Memphis looks like a team I probably won't get much exposure to. I don't hate Kyle Anderson, but again, not a priority. And as far as Toronto goes, so we've got Kem Birch out, OG Anunoby out. So the Toronto starters look good here. All of them. Van Vliet's kind of pricey at 8,700. So I like him. I view him kind of like Randall, where like he's the top piece of Toronto, but I don't like need him. Siakam's right behind Van Vliet for me. I do prefer Van Vliet, but I like Siakam also. Gary Trent looks really good if he plays. If he's out, it opens the door for like C. Mikhailuk. And then Precious, who's playing monster minutes. Again, I don't think he's going to like break the slate, but at 4,400, I think he cruises into value in all formats, considering they're, the guy's injured right now and the amount of minutes he's going to play. So I like Precious. He's never a guy I'm going to feel like I have to lock in. Van Vliet, these guys are a little pricey, but I like Van Vliet. I like Siakam. Scotty Barnes, I like him over Dylan Brooks at the same price. And yeah, Precious, Siakam, Van Vliet, Scotty Barnes, Trent. All of them are in play, with Precious probably being the main guy I look to at that price point. Trent also I like a lot. So 2 7:30 games and then 3 10 o'clock games. We got the Lakers at the Kings. We just saw this game last week. The Kings won in triple OT. Now the Lakers come back to try to get their revenge. I view the Lakers a lot like I do the Nets. If LeBron's been good. If he plays at 10-4, like I like him over the Nets guys. I know there's 3 guys for the Lakers when Davis is in. If LeBron is out, I think Westbrook and Davis become much stronger plays. If LeBron is in, I kind of like LeBron. He's just been really good recently. Don't love him. Don't think you have to lock him in, but definitely like him here. No one else from the Lakers is going to really be in play for me. Sure, DeAndre Jordan is fine, but I mean, that's about it. As far as the Kings go, I know Barnes is doubtful. Don't know what's happening with Holmes. Don't know how much he's going to play if he plays. We saw Chimezie Metu re-enter the starting lineup against Memphis. They got absolutely shellacked. Or actually, he played a lot against the Lakers, too. Assuming he's starting, he's fine. I don't hate Bagley in tournaments, but not a guy I want to prioritize by any means. Fox, Halliburton, and Hield. And actually Terrence Davis also. I mean, he entered the starting lineup. Looks like giving him more run than Davion Mitchell, which I don't really get, but I'm not sure how that affected and how the blowout run affected that. I think that Mitchell's the one that saw most of the blowout run, so I actually like Terrence Davis more here. Then obviously, if you want to prioritize Fox at 8,400, I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. He's just not been great this year. So, again, last game I would kind of throw out the window, but aside from that triple OT game, he just hasn't been great. So, I like Metu. I like Terrence Davis. No one else I really love from the Kings. Suns and Warriors. So, this should be a good game. As far as Golden State goes, they're just playing great ball, 18-2 or 17-2 on the year. Steph has got to be the front runner for MVP right now. He just is electric. He's in play on any slate he's on. Today's no different. 5-gamer, I imagine he gets a decent amount of love. He's my favorite stud of the guys we've talked about so far. Just the Lakers guys, the Nets guys, etc. So Curry looks good here. I don't hate Wiggins at 6,800. His price is down a little bit. Draymond, I don't hate either. Competitive games. Expect to see him play a bunch of minutes. And in a get-up spot against the Suns, I like that spot for him here. So, yeah, Draymond, Steph, Wiggins. I'll put it like Steph, Draymond, then Wiggins would be my priorities. Another guy that continues to play well for them is Otto Porter. Now, he's very hit or miss as far as his DFS scores go, but playing consistent minutes. He was massive for them against the Clippers. He's got big GPP upside in 2 out of his last 4. Again, definitely taking a risk with him. He's shown big upside, and he's also shown games where he sucked. So I don't love Otto Porter here, but he's worth looking at in tournaments on a small slate of 4,400. That's about it. As far as the Suns go, again, they're a team I don't get too much as far as DFS goes, just because they're always priced accordingly to how they should be. CP3 looks fine at 8K. Yeah, his price is low-ish, so he'd probably be my favorite piece. D-Book has been really good recently in a couple blowouts. Actually, the Brooklyn game, he was good, but the Knicks game, he was awesome, but lost run. CP3 is my favorite piece of Phoenix, for sure here. He's not a priority for me, but he's my favorite piece. I know Mikal Bridges went off with a ton of steals last game. 7 steals. Yeah. He plays monster minutes, so I don't love him here. Both these teams are very good defensively. Golden State, the top defense this year. Phoenix obviously proved last year what they're capable of defensively. So I like Steph. I like CP3. I think both those guys play a ton. I like Draymond. I don't really like the secondary pieces, though. I like the main guys in this game. Last but not least, probably the most appealing game to me. I know Portland's coming off a back-to-back. Detroit lost their last 2 in LA, both the Lakers and the Clippers. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, sorry about that. So Portland played last night. Guys lost run because they got rolled in Utah. Let's talk about the Detroit side first. So Detroit, guy playing good ball right now is Jeremy Grant, 7,300. I like him. I expect this game to be competitive. He loses running games that aren't. I like this spot. I think Grant's high on my short list here. No doubt about it. Cade Cunningham at 7,700. His price is definitely up. This is why we talked, a couple weeks ago to just play him at 5K and below because he was going to be close to this, price soon. And he's there. 7,700 is a bit steep for me when he's the same price as CJ McCollum, but it's not like he's out of play either. I do prefer Jeremy Grant. He's my favorite piece of Detroit. I like Grant a lot here. I don't like him quite as much as I did Sabonis yesterday, but I like him a lot. And then Portland, they're a bit of a tough nut to crack. I mean, we know McCollum and Dame are usually the guys that are going to be producing offensively for them. Both those guys were not very good last night. I could see either or both bouncing back here. Robert Covington, man, lost a ton of run. I don't really know what happened there, but I'd hesitate to go back there. That said, it's a really good spot against Detroit. So if I didn't use him last night, I'd probably be a lot more interested in him here. Nurk is starting to play, more minutes. Again, they lost a little bit of run last night in the blowout. I'm interested in Nurk here. So Nurk and Jeremy Grant, probably my 2 favorite pieces of this game. I'm not really sure what to make of Isaiah Stewart right now. That's why I like Grant. Give me Grant and Nurk, excuse me. So let's do a little bit of quick building. Just throw some guys in here that I know I like. So let's go Nurk right here. Again, not a ton of guys I love on this slate. So I like Precious. So, obviously I'd put him at center, but let's plug him in right there. Go. Can we get the CP? Yeah, easily. I mean, there's not a ton of value I like on this slate, but there's definitely guys you can use to fill in for sure. Thinking about like Alec Burks would fit here. You got to go really cheap at your other two. Is there any really cheap guys we liked? Yeah, I could definitely get on board with Nas Little. Played a ton last night off the bench. More solid than spectacular, but in a lineup like this, sure. James Johnson. Boom. There we go. So again, I don't love this lineup, but I like it enough. I'm making one lineup right now. This is probably where I'm rolling. Yeah, that's all I got for you guys. I hope you liked it. Again, check out the links in the description about Jazz Sports. Excited to be working with them again. And yeah, if you want more content, more videos, any of that stuff, go check out the DFS 5-pack. We'd love to have you. If you have any questions, holler at me. I'll be around. Thanks as always, guys.